The Earth we live on is full of beauty and wonder, but it's also a ticking time bomb of natural disasters. While we enjoy the safety of our everyday lives, scientists are closely monitoring events that could disrupt everything we know. From catastrophic climate shifts to terrifying cosmic phenomena, the list of impending dangers seems endless. Many of these events have the potential to reshape our planet, some with the power to wipe out entire ecosystems or even end life as we know it. So, hold on tight as we delve into 15 terrifying natural disasters scientists fear are approaching, events that could change the fate of entire humanity and the Earth itself. Number 1. Climate change. A global crisis. Climate change is one of the most pressing concerns facing humanity today. It's not just about rising temperatures, it's about a massive shift in weather patterns, rising sea levels, and the collapse of ecosystems. If global temperatures continue to rise by even a few degrees, the world's ice sheets could melt, causing catastrophic flooding in coastal regions. Droughts could devastate food production, wildfires would ravage forests, and 1/3 of the world's land could become desert. The Amazon rainforest, which plays a crucial role in carbon offsetting, could be lost, further escalating the crisis. Worst of all, the clock is ticking. Scientists warn we have just a decade to reverse climate change before we hit the tipping point. Failure to act will lead to irreversible damage, leaving future generations to face a planet drastically altered by human activity. Number 2. Flooding. Rising waters, rising threats. Flooding is a disaster that has been increasingly affecting populations worldwide. Whether caused by torrential rainfall or rising sea levels, floods have the potential to displace millions of people and cause widespread destruction. In 2023, devastating floods in India, Nepal, and Bangladesh forced over 12 million people to flee their homes. This threat is growing as climate change accelerates, with countries like Nigeria, the Philippines, and Somalia becoming increasingly vulnerable. As sea levels continue to rise due to the melting of polar ice caps, coastal cities will face inundation, displacing entire populations. Additionally, biodiversity loss has altered air quality and weather patterns, leading to increased rainfall and more frequent floods. Floods wreak havoc on infrastructure, agriculture, and can disrupt economies on a global scale. This growing threat is one of the most immediate challenges we face, affecting not just the environment, but human life and survival. Number 3. Caribbean tsunamis. A deadly wave on the horizon. The Caribbean is no stranger to the threat of tsunamis, and recent years have shown just how real that danger is. What's more alarming is the presence of an unstable volcano in the Canary Islands. The La Palma volcano, located in the Canary Islands, is under close watch because of its potential to collapse into the ocean. If this happens, it could trigger a massive tsunami, sending waves crashing across the Atlantic, devastating island nations and coastal cities in its path. Scientists like Dr. Simon Day from the Benfield Hazard Research Center have warned that this catastrophic event could occur at any time. The mega-tsunami generated by such an eruption could be more destructive than anything we've seen before, wiping out populations, collapsing infrastructure, and causing global disruptions. The Caribbean, with its large number of islands and coastal populations, would be particularly vulnerable to this terrifying event. Number 4. Collapse of the vacuum of space. A horrific possibility. Imagine if the very fabric of space itself were to collapse. It sounds like science fiction, but some theories suggest that this could happen. In this catastrophic scenario, the vacuum of space, the void that separates everything, would collapse, causing space itself to disappear. As space begins to collapse, everything within it, including people, plants, and animals, would be pulled together in a giant mass, compressing and collapsing into a singularity. This is, of course, a theoretical event, but if it were to occur, it would mark the absolute end of existence. The collapse of space would be swift and absolute, causing the universe to implode on itself, ending all life as we know it. While this might seem far-fetched, it's a chilling reminder that even our understanding of space and time remains incomplete, leaving us vulnerable to cosmic phenomena we can't yet fully predict or control. Number 5. Reversal of Earth's magnetic field, the Great Shift. Earth's magnetic field has been weakening over time, and scientists fear that a reversal of the magnetic poles may be imminent. The last time this happened was around 780,000 years ago, and the effects of such a shift are not entirely understood. A weakened magnetic field would leave us exposed to harmful cosmic radiation and solar storms, which the magnetic field normally shields us from. If this happens, we could see an increase in the incidence of cancer and other radiation-related health problems. The ozone layer, already depleted, could further deteriorate, making the Earth even more vulnerable to harmful UV rays. Animals that rely on the magnetic field for navigation, such as migratory birds, could be thrown off course, disrupting ecosystems around the world. The weakening of Earth's magnetic shield is a ticking time bomb, and while we don't know when it will happen, scientists are keeping a close eye on it. Number 6. Mass insanity, a crisis of mental health. The world is witnessing a rapid decline in mental health, and scientists fear that this could be one of the greatest challenges of the 21st century. The human population is living longer, which means people are experiencing more time to face isolation, loneliness, and mental distress. In fact, depression is predicted to become the second leading cause of death and loss of productivity globally, trailing only cardiovascular diseases. Anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues are rising at an alarming rate, fueled by modern-day pressures, social media, and lifestyle changes. This widespread mental health crisis could lead to societal instability, with increased fears, pessimism, and a rise in cult-like movements. As mental health issues continue to spiral, the consequences could be devastating, leading to a world where people are unable to cope with the stresses of modern life, weakening societies and economies. Number 7. Alien invasion, a hidden threat in our universe. While the idea of extraterrestrial beings invading Earth makes for thrilling science fiction, there's a different kind of alien threat that scientists are worried about: alien viruses and bacteria. The possibility that viruses or bacteria from other planets could invade Earth and wreak havoc on our ecosystems is not as far-fetched as it may seem. Alien microorganisms, if introduced into Earth's biosphere, could infect plants, animals, and humans alike, potentially causing widespread agricultural collapse. The virus could spread globally, decimating crops, forests, and entire ecosystems. Because these viruses and bacteria would be foreign to our environment, our immune systems would have no defense against them. While studies on alien pathogens are limited, scientists are beginning to explore the risk of interplanetary contamination. The interconnected nature of our globalized world, where travel happens quickly, means that such an invasion could be more likely than we think. What do you think? Well, drop your theory below. Number 8. Solar flares, a deadly solar storm. Solar flares, or coronal mass ejections, CMEs, are intense bursts of radiation from the sun. These massive explosions of energy release vast quantities of charged particles into space, which can travel across the solar system. If a large enough solar flare hits Earth, the consequences could be disastrous. Satellites and space stations could be destroyed, and electrical grids could overload, causing widespread blackouts. The disruption of communication systems, including radio and internet, could bring economies and nations to a standstill. The most frightening possibility is that these solar flares could generate a global internet apocalypse, severing digital connections for weeks or even months. The damage could cost billions of dollars in recovery and destabilize entire economies. As the sun's activity cycles, space weather experts are monitoring solar flares more closely, preparing for the possibility of a catastrophic solar event in the near future. Number 9. Toba. Supervolcano, a global eruption. The Toba supervolcano, located in Indonesia, is one of the largest and most dangerous volcanoes on Earth. It erupted about 74,000 years ago in what was the most massive eruption in the last 25 million years. If it were to erupt again, the consequences would be catastrophic. The eruption could throw billions of tons of ash and sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere, blocking sunlight and causing a global cooling effect known as a volcanic winter. This could lead to massive crop failures, food shortages, and a dramatic decline in global temperatures. But it's not just the eruption itself that's a threat. Toba is located on an island with a dense population of over 50 million people. The eruption would generate massive tsunamis that could devastate coastal areas, while the global climate effects would spread worldwide. As the volcano shows signs of activity, scientists are increasingly worried that a new eruption could be closer than we think. Number 10. Helena Slump, a mega-tsunami from Hawaii. Hawaii's Kilauea volcano is home to the Helena Slump, a geological instability that could trigger a catastrophic event. The Helena Slump is a section of the volcano's flank that is sliding into the Pacific Ocean, and if it collapses, it could create a massive mega-tsunami. This tsunami would travel across the Pacific Ocean, hitting the west coast of North America within hours. The scale of the disaster would be unimaginable, with waves reaching heights of over 400 meters. Coastal communities from Hawaii to California would be overwhelmed by the tsunami's force. While the possibility of such a collapse happening soon is difficult to predict, the potential for massive destruction is undeniable. Scientists are closely monitoring the Helena Slump, as the ongoing seismic activity in the region raises the likelihood that this catastrophic event could occur in the not-so-distant future. Number 11. Gamma-ray bursts, a cosmic threat. Gamma-ray bursts, GRBs, are the most powerful explosions in the universe, and they could potentially wipe out life on Earth. These bursts of radiation are released during the collapse of massive stars or the collision of neutron stars. If a GRB were to occur within a few thousand light-years of Earth, it could destroy the ozone layer, leaving us vulnerable to harmful UV radiation. It's unlikely that a GRB will strike Earth anytime soon, but scientists are still monitoring distant galaxies for signs of potential threats. If such an event did happen, it would lead to mass extinction, as the intense radiation would fry the atmosphere, disrupt climate patterns, and decimate ecosystems. Although the probability of a nearby GRB is low, scientists are studying these cosmic phenomena to understand their potential impact better, knowing that such an event could change life on Earth forever. Number 12. San Andreas. Fault earthquake, the big one. The San Andreas Fault is a geological fault line that runs through California, and scientists have long predicted that it could one day unleash the big one. This powerful earthquake, likely to exceed magnitude 8, could level cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco, killing thousands and causing billions in damage. The fault is long overdue for a major rupture, and scientists are tracking seismic activity to predict when it might occur. While it's impossible to predict exactly when the earthquake will strike, experts warn that the risk is growing. When it hits, buildings will collapse, bridges will buckle, and wildfires will spread. The aftershocks could be devastating, and the damage to infrastructure will take years to repair. The San Andreas Fault earthquake is one of the most anticipated yet feared natural disasters, as its impact will be felt globally. Number 13. Asteroid impact, the threat from above. An asteroid impact on Earth could cause an extinction-level event similar to the one that wiped out the dinosaurs 65 million years ago. While the likelihood of a large asteroid colliding with Earth is low, the potential consequences are so severe that scientists keep a close watch on near-Earth objects, NEOs. These space rocks can travel at incredible speeds, and if one were to strike Earth, the explosion would be equivalent to billions of atomic bombs. It would throw up dust and debris into the atmosphere, blocking sunlight and causing a nuclear winter effect that would devastate ecosystems. While major asteroid impacts are rare, smaller ones have hit Earth in the past, and they continue to pose a threat. Scientists are working on identifying and tracking NEOs to better predict and potentially deflect a large asteroid impact, but the threat remains real. Number 14. Megathrust earthquakes, the global ticking time bomb. Megathrust earthquakes occur in subduction zones where one tectonic plate slides beneath another. These earthquakes are capable of producing massive tsunamis and shaking the Earth to its core. Regions like Japan, Indonesia, and the Pacific Northwest of North America are at particular risk for megathrust earthquakes. These powerful quakes can reach magnitudes of 9 or higher, causing devastating damage to infrastructure, triggering landslides, and creating tsunamis that ravage coastal areas. The worst part of this threat is the unpredictability. While we have some ability to detect earthquakes before they hit, megathrust quakes are often sudden and devastating. A major earthquake in the Cascadia subduction zone could result in a disaster with impacts that reach far beyond the Pacific region. Scientists are continuously monitoring these areas, aware that the next megathrust earthquake could be just around the corner. Number 15. Black holes, the ultimate cosmic catastrophe. Black holes are among the most mysterious and dangerous phenomena in the universe. These massive gravitational forces devour everything in their path, including light. If a black hole were to pass through our solar system, it could disrupt Earth's orbit, causing extreme gravitational shifts. While this is highly unlikely, scientists acknowledge that the universe is full of unknowns. A black hole's passage through our solar system would destabilize Earth's orbit, leading to extreme weather conditions, earthquakes, and possibly even the destruction of life. While we're safe from this cosmic disaster, for now, black holes remain one of the greatest unknown threats lurking in the depths of space. Nerds continue to study and learn more about these mysterious objects, but the possibility of a black hole disaster remains one of our greatest fears. So while we may feel safe on Earth, there are many potential threats that could lead to huge destruction and even extinction. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you soon.